The California Innocence Project is calling on Governor Brown to use his power to free 12 men and women from prison in time for Christmas. California Western School of Law professor Justin Brooks, who runs the project, says they have been incarcerated for a combined 190 years. He and others marched to Sacramento last week for the second time this year to draw attention to the cause. Brooks joins me now. These men and women are known as the California 12. Who are they and how did they end up in prison?
Well, they're a broad cross-section of our community. You know, it's 7 men, 5 women. They're black, they're white, they're Hispanic. The crimes that they've been accused of are very, very different. But the common theme with all of them is they're factually innocent, and that we have the facts and the evidence to prove that.
How do they end up in prison?
Well, you know, sometimes I always have this fantasy that I could get into a time machine and go back to a trial and hand a piece of evidence to the defense attorney to show to the jury. And I'm confident that in these 12 cases, had the jury known what we know now, they would have never convicted them. But that's not how our justice system works. Once you're convicted, it's very hard to undo that conviction. And even though we have compelling evidence of innocence, the courts have failed to reverse these convictions.
Among the California 12 is a man by the name of Bill Richards. Tell me his story.
Bill came home one night from work and he found his wife dead in his front yard. He immediately called the police. They came. There was some terrible crime scene analysis done. They didn't do time of death. They didn't do a lot of things they should have done. They had no other suspects. They could put Bill on the scene, so they put him on trial for the murder. They put him on trial 3 times before they ultimately got a conviction on almost no evidence. We've come in years later. We had DNA evidence that proves someone else was there. We tore apart their entire case, and a tough-on-crime former prosecutor, judge in San Bernardino, declared Bill Richards innocent. And this is 5 years ago.
Why is he still in prison?
Because for the past 5 years, we've been fighting in the appellate courts with the San Bernardino District Attorney's Office over Bill's innocence. And finally, last year, we lost in the California Supreme Court 4-3 on an issue that wasn't related to innocence. And California Lawyer magazine actually declared that the worst decision of the year in California, the one by the Supreme Court, not reversing Bill Richards' conviction.
Clemencies and pardons issued by governors and presidents are usually seen as means to freedom available only to people who are wealthy and influential. What chance do these California 12 have of getting out of prison?
Well, you're absolutely right, and that's why I knew we had to do something big to get the governor's attention. And that's what motivated me and 2 lawyers in my office last summer to walk 712 miles from San Diego to Sacramento to deliver the clemency petitions. And our mission was along the way that we'd raise awareness and get the message to the governor. And it worked in the sense the governor gave us a review with his legal staff. They've been looking into the cases, they've been communicating with us, and we're hoping it's going to result in these clemencies being granted.
So any recent communication, where do things stand at this moment?
Yeah, as of yesterday, I was sending documents to his head of his legal staff and answering questions that he had about the cases. So they are being seriously reviewed, and you know, I'm 100% confident that if the governor actually looks at these cases, he will grant clemency. I believe that even if I couldn't 100% convince them of their innocence, if there's any doubt about their innocence, some of these people have served huge sentences. One of our clients has been in prison for 36 years for a crime he didn't commit. So if there's any doubt, clemency should be granted. We're not asking they be pardoned. We're not asking they be declared innocent. We're asking they be sent home to their families. We need to get people out of prison. We're under court order to do it. Why not start with the innocent people?
So very quickly, if by chance they're not released, what's your next step?
Well, one thing about the California Innocence Project is we never give up on a client. So we will continue to fight for these cases every way we can. I'm hoping I don't have to walk to Sacramento again. It's a long walk, but we're going to keep pushing to get these innocent people out of prison.
And we'll wrap it up there. Justin Brooks, thanks for coming on the program.
My pleasure. Thank you.